Good morning, Kingswood. We've got a lot of great stories for you today and a lot of other additional segments, plus some new stuff that you have not seen yet. We're going to be talking about, of course, Charlotte Gauthier and her work this past weekend. Stay with us. Good morning, Kingswood. I'm Scott Giesler. I'm not Kieran Kelleher, and I'm not Connor Hurlbert. We have kind of an interesting staffing today due to a delay, but we got a lot of great stories, so we didn't want to miss those. Let's get right into it. Congratulations, Charlotte Gauthier, who participated in the NHBDA Chamber Festival. The Chamber Festival is for top scoring students accepted into the All-State Festival. And as it turns out, Charlotte is one of the top bassoonists in the state. She performed at UNH alongside the best student musicians in the state. Congratulations, Charlotte. We're so very proud of you. Heads up, baseball fans. Post-7 Legion preliminary tryouts are happening in the Spalding High School gym at Rochester High School on the 28th. These will go from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tryouts are for ages 13 through 19 and have no cost, so come try it out. Now, folks, we're going to take a little bit of a break here and do some real-world news. Thought you guys might find this story interesting. This is, believe me, far from local. This comes all the way from Washington State. According to the New York Post, Seattle public schools are actually suing major tech companies such as TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, and more. The schools claim that these apps have done everything they can to attract and hold on to youth users using, quote, positive feedback loops of excessive use and abuse of defendants' social media platforms. On Saturday, unquote, on Saturday, a statement was made saying that the students are suffering from all kinds of mental disabilities, such as depression and self-harm, among other things. And as a result of the constant excessive use of these platforms, these are the results. The companies, however, are coming back and saying that they have parental controls, settings that can be used to limit screen time, and so forth and so on. We can only wait to see how the lawsuit goes. If we get more information, we will get back to this story in the future to cover it. Now here's the lunch menu for the week. Next Monday, you get nothing, absolutely nothing, because school isn't meeting due to Martin Luther King Day, so don't come to school and try to get lunch. Get that at home. On Tuesday, it's Dunkers with marinara sauce. On Wednesday, it's cheeseburgers. On Thursdays, it's steak and cheese. And on Friday, well, how about you guess? 3, 2, 1. If you guessed pizza, well, you're wrong. If you guessed stuffed crust pizza, you'd be correct. Congratulations. Enjoy your prize of free air. Now let's move on to our Kingswood sports schedule. Thank you very much for that. And now let's move on to Elliot with sports.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Night Watch Sports segment. A little bit of a hiatus here, but we came back just in time because now we're in the peak of NFL football playoffs and college football just wrapped up. So we're going to talk about that today, starting off with college. Georgia massacred TCU. There's no nice way to put it. 65-7 might be the meanest final score I have ever seen in the history of sports. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, there was a point in the first half where it was like, oh, well, the score is close. But if you were watching the game, TCU never really had a hope, you know? I saw Joel Klatt, guy on Fox Sports, he does college football, and he was talking about how before the game he was there, and there was no aggression between the teams, and at that point, he knew it was over. With all respect to Joel, I think in our hearts and minds, we should have all known it was over like a week ago when this playoff matchup got decided, because it's just a mismatch in terms of talent. And I feel bad. This is what I hate about college, is that it's just impossible if you're a smaller program to get better. Credit to TCU for making it, though, and then obviously credit to Georgia for going back-to-back. First time somebody's done that since, like, Bama a decade ago. So good job, guys. And moving on to what hasn't happened yet, the NFL playoffs. You got Wild Card Weekend coming up, starting tomorrow, going all the way until Monday. It's going to be a great weekend of football. We're just going to go down these matchups, and I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win this weekend. Chargers-Jaguars, I think this is probably going to be the best game of the weekend. It's going to be incredibly tight. I think the Jaguars are going to take it due to their home field advantage, and Trevor Lawrence is on an absolute hot streak right now, whereas Justin Herbert's kind of been slowing down a little bit more recently. Ravens-Bengals would be a lot more interesting if Lamar was playing. I think the Bengals are going to win, not by a lot, but comfortably enough that you're not going to be concerned. Bills-Dolphins, honestly, for the Bills, this is better than a bye week, because you just get a week to beat up on whatever team to get yourself some momentum going into probably playing Cincinnati. Dallas-Tampa, here's my thoughts on Dallas-Tampa. If the game is close, Tampa will win. But there's a better than average chance that the Cowboys are going to blow out Tampa. So I'm going to predict that the Cowboys move on, but if this game is within like 2 scores going into the fourth quarter, Tampa's probably going to win. New York Vikings, frankly, I think New York's going to take it just because they played the Vikings a couple weeks ago, and the Vikings needed a 61-yard field goal to win. It's hard to beat a team twice, and it's hard to beat a team twice when you know they're going to play you really close. And then finally, Seattle, San Francisco. Seattle's a great story this year. They got rid of their franchise quarterback, and then they made the playoffs while he did horribly in his new situation. So that's great for them, and I'm happy for them. But I think, frankly, the Niners are just going to roll in and just kick them to the curb. It's not going to be close, and it'll be sad, but hey, good season, Seattle. And finally, we're going to move on and talk about the Patriots. Obviously, they got eliminated. Obviously, we're all sad about it, but there were promises that there were going to be big changes amongst the offensive coaching staff and really just the makeup of the organization this offseason. So hopefully things will get better. I am a little hesitant to say that because the Patriots are kind of adverse to change in general, but hey, here's hoping, right? That's going to wrap it up for me, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and now we'll go back to whatever's after this.
Good morning, Kingswood. My name is Scott Giesler. I am the teacher of multimedia at the Lakes Region Technology Center. We're trying out a brand new segment this week that we're very excited about. It's called the Kingswood Knights of the Round Table. Each week we'll meet with a panel of students. We'll try to change it up every week and ask them one critical question about their life here at Kingswood. We're hoping this will be a big success, and frankly, we know it won't be. But thank you very much, guys, for joining us this morning. Keegan, Margot, Mary, Riley, and Connor. We're going to give you all about 1 minute on the stopwatch. If you don't go a minute, that's fine. But the question of the day is, if you could wave your magic wand and change one thing about your daily life here at Kingswood, what would it be? Keegan, you get to start us off.
Either more classes in the Art Center or less vandalism in the bathrooms.
Are the two connected?
No, I just really like being in the Art Center, and I find it a huge inconvenience when there's vandalism, and I have to walk all the way downstairs just to, use the restroom.
I see. Gotcha. Okay. Margot, how about you?
I was thinking more school lunches. There are some good ones, but then there are some lunches that are, I don't know, could be better. Like, I myself am not a big fan of the meatball subs, and then there's, like, some sandwiches and stuff. But I like the mac and cheese, and, like, there's some things that I do like, just better school lunches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mary?
Honestly, part of me wishes that even in high school that we still had time to go outside, like, why am I forgetting the word?
Recess?
Yes,
Yeah.
I wish we still had recess.
Or nap time.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah, a lot of teenagers are night owls, so yeah, that too. But no joke, I would love if we still had recess. That would be fun.
Well, nap time, you'd have a universal cell. I think the faculty would be
Yeah.
on that one as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
anyway.
probably.
Riley, how about you?
Definitely the school vandalism in the bathroom. I mean, it's just really a pain just to have to go down to like the nearest bathroom and just not having to go to the bathroom if it's vandalized, and it's just a pain.
That's one of those things that I've never fully understood. You know, I don't understand vandalism in general, but there's an added layer of vandalism there in the sense that it's like saying, well, what if I vandalized one of my bathrooms at home? You know what I mean? It's sort of like, this is the bathroom you have to use here. And if you end up wrecking it, you kind of kick out your own legs, so.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, you're up.
I would move the art center closer.
No.
Especially because of in the winter, if you have to
Yeah.
walk back and forth all day.
That's
Like-
the best part.
Well, we just walked here and it was snowing out. It was,
Yeah, it's cold.
What you need is like a monorail.
Yeah.
Or a tram, you know, something, skyway that takes you to and from. Add 45 minutes to each class change, so you can wait that out. Yeah, the monorail broke down.
Yeah, the train's running a little slow today.
All right. None of you, now this is the part that shocks me, none of you said start the day later. Not a one of you.
I was
No,
thinking it.
yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
Well, then
that,
theater
though.
would end way too late.
Well, yeah, like all the
True.
extracurriculars would
True.
be kind of stuck on that front, wouldn't they?
How about
Yeah.
this? Less school, more extracurricular.
Okay.
I mean, that would also be fun, but reasonably, they would never do that.
Well, thanks for doing this, guys. I appreciate it. Always a pleasure to sit and talk with you. So back to the studio. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that. And thanks, Elliot, for sports. And listen, I just want to say I'm very proud of you for a great sports segment, but I promise you, as your father, the Giants are never going to beat the Vikings. Just not going to happen. All right, so we're going to move things on now, and we're going on to gaming with Nicole.
Did you miss me? Since Kieran isn't here, you get to see me. Anyways, we're reviewing Portal 2, a classic game from Valve. Portal 2 takes place directly after the first game. The story goes, after defeating GLaDOS, our protagonist Jill wakes up in a status chamber and is accompanied by an intelligence-dampened spear, Wheatley. As the two of you escape the facility once again. Much like the last game, the game revolves around what else the portal gun. Like the last game, you get two portals, orange and blue, which are connected. One thing goes out one and comes out the other. Obviously, you use them to solve puzzles around the facility to advance to the next test chamber, but that would get old quick using the same gimmicks from the last game, so tons of new elements were added, such as repulsion and propulsion gel, which bounce you and speed you up your momentum, as well as lasers, which can be reflected to solve puzzles. And there's aerial faith plates, which launch you into a certain direction, and of course light bridges, which, as the name implies, are bridges that can be used to transported with the portal gun to help you across large gaps. The development of Portal 2 is an interesting one. Originally, the game would have been a prequel without the portal gun, but playtesters, being playtesters, missed the characters from Portal 1, and the game became sort of a sequel, with the story from the first game being reused as lore for the second game. Hey, fun fact, did you know that Portal 2 and Half-Life take place in the same universe? I bet you didn't. Portal 2 ramps up after each chapter, with stuff I'd rather not spoil. All I'll say is, you'll be in for a treat, NASA fans. Wink. Overall, Portal 2 is a must-play game in my book. It's a masterpiece, and I recommend it. It's available on Steam, but also available on Xbox and PlayStation through their backward compatibility features, and now is available on Nintendo Switch as well through the Portal Companion Collection that was released recently. Anyways, back to the desk.
Thanks, Nicole. And now,
Hello, Kingswood, and welcome to this week's weather. I'm Kieran Kelleher.
And I'm Connor Hurlbert.
And you just saw us at the desk. Let's get into this week's weather. Today, Friday, we're looking at an 83% chance of rain. It's looking pretty interesting with a high of 52 degrees Fahrenheit. And yeah, that. Tonight, we're looking at some cloudy skies with a much lower chance of rain of 12%. So it's looking okay. It's certainly looking better than right now.
All right. And then tomorrow, Saturday, it's going to be a 34 degree day with an 8% chance of rain. Oh my God, it's cold.
Let's get this done.
Saturday night, it's going to be around 22 degrees with a 7% chance of snow. So
Epic.
it's going to be cold.
Wow, almost like today. Let's go into Sunday. On Sunday, we're looking at sunshine with with some mixed clouds and a 5% chance of rain. And on Sunday night, we're looking at a very partly cloudy sky, a low of 21 degrees Fahrenheit, and an 11% chance of snow. So, I mean, snow. Go turn off the camera. We're done here. Thank you for tuning in. Back to the desk.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Now let's move on to Margot and Keegan with comics.
Hello, Kingswood, and welcome back to Night Watch's comic segment, where I, Margot Farrell, get to rant about my favorite topic, comics.
Yes, you do. And I'm Keegan Quinn, the co-host.
This week, we're going over a subject that I don't understand why people like. I mean, I'm always hearing people talking about it, saying how much they like this topic. It's ridiculous. Why would you ever like it when you can love it?
If you haven't guessed already, this week we're covering Young Justice, aka Mouse's favorite thing ever.
Let's start with the history of the original team. In 1999 to 2003, DC created a comic series spanning around 55 issues based around a group of teenage heroes named Young Justice. The original team consisted of mainly Tim Drake's Robin, Connor Kent's Superboy, and of course, Bart Allen, aka Impulse.
There were also other characters that would later join the series, as well as such as Wonder Girl, Arrowette, and Secret.
This team would go on adventures and face various threats, varying in severity. By the end of this run, however, the team dispersed, most members joining the Teen Titans or creating the Outsiders, two other teenage hero-heavy teams.
The 90s comics were, and still are, beloved by comic book fans and have set a modern base for how teenage superheroes should be written in media, thus inspiring a completely unrelated run with the same name in 2011.
That's right. In 2011, there was another comic run titled Young Justice, spanning 26 issues. This run, however, followed the show that was at the time streaming on Cartoon Network.
It's a great show. Can you please remind me, though, how the two runs were different story-wise?
The 2011 Young Justice is based on the DC Earth 16, so it's a completely different universe to begin with. Also, we have a different team. This team consists of Dick Grayson's Robin, Calderon's Aqualad, Wally West's Kid Flash, Connor Kent's Superboy, Miss Martian, and Artemis, and the occasional appearances of Zatanna, Red Arrow, and Rocket.
Red Arrow is great. Right. Now, I remember they also started the team differently, too. Is that correct? They became a team because they wanted to be seen more than just the Justice League sidekicks and prove their worth as heroes.
All correct, Keegan. However, the show ran into trouble, being canceled after its second season. The fans waited patiently for 6 years for a third season in 2019, then another 2 years for a fourth season in 2021.
Will we ever get to season 5? I must know.
Well, it hasn't been canceled yet again, so, but HBO currently hasn't ordered another season, so we may have to wait a little while longer.
Didn't the producer of the show tweet by buying the new Young Justice Target's comics, and by binge-watching season 4, it could get attention on HBO?
He sure did. The comics my friend Keegan here is referring to is the Young Justice Targets that follows right after the fourth season of the show. The last issue of this 6-issue special just recently came out, so get it while it's hot.
So the rerun series got revival, but what about the 90s team? Is the 1999 run the only one they're getting?
Of course not. In 2019, the team was revived by Wonder Comics, and it ran for roughly 20 issues. The same original team added new members and took on new foe. And as of last summer, they also got a 6-issue special called Dark Crisis.
I'll have to pick up some of these comics. It looks like you have quite a lot of them. Mike.
I sure do.
Well, that's all, folks.
If you think I missed anything or want to recommend anything for me to cover next week, feel free to email me at ma2023rell@student.govwentworth. You know the rest.
Now back to you at the studio. This is mine.
Thanks, guys. And now from the This Just In category, we have our Athletes of the Week. First of all, our female athlete of the week is Maria Alvarez-Pavon. Maria has remained consistently positive, regardless of some tough periods and lopsided games this season for the girls' ice hockey team. Maria has worked well with the new girls that have joined the program with words of encouragement for all. On the ice, she is a hard worker, inspiring her teammates to work hard too. Nice job, Maria. And our male athlete of the week is Austin Emerson. Although Austin is only a sophomore, he has proven to be a leader on the boys' ice hockey team. He is very vocal on and off the ice. His voice and vision on the ice continues to set the example for his team, doing the little things effectively, and being a team player has earned him Player of the Game honors as well. Congratulations, Austin. Well, that'll about do it for us this week. I'm neither Kieran nor Connor, but thank you for joining us anyway. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the weekend.